wanna show you what I know. Break it free from the mainstream, the studio machine. I want it my way. Indie Film Nation. I want it my way. Indie Film Nation. Going all the way. Indie Film Nation. You know it's gotta be Indie Film Nation. Indie Film Nation. It's gotta be Indie Film Nation.
Dole Foods is suing a Swedish filmmaker for wanting to show a fraudulent documentary slamming the company.
Wow.
Malmöfilmaren Fredrik Gertten stäms av det amerikanska bananföretaget Dole. Företaget hävdar att filmen Bananas är en bluff.
It's totally crazy that you in the biggest democracy in the world can't even show this film. 6 weeks ago it was okay, now it's not okay because of blah blah blah. What is this?
Well, it's a scare tactic.
The film is based on a sham. That's the point.
But you haven't seen the film.
I've already told you no, Charlotte.
So you're fighting against this incredibly bizarre situation where people are saying the film is wrong and they haven't seen it.
Your film is wrapped up into a much bigger cause for Dole.
Yeah.
Their cause is to get rid of billions of dollars worth of litigation that's pending against them because they kept using poisonous chemicals. So this is a cheap investment for them.
I stämningen kräver de att filmen ska läggas ner, hemsidan ska läggas ner och att jag aldrig mer ska uttala mig i frågan.
Det kostar många timmar att kontakta så många svenska journalister som de har gjort. De har snart kontaktat hela journalistförbundet.
This is serious. This really is accomplishing the objective, shutting down the speech.
They spend millions on their brand every year, and you're going to come in and start attacking their brand. What did you think was going to happen?
I'm a huge fan of our legal system, but I'm going to take a break from that for today.
Hi, Sue Lawson here from Indie Film Nation. I'm spending time here at Sundance 2012 with the director of Big Boys Gone Bananas, Fredrik Gertten, whose last name I'm still slaughtering, but he's really nice and he's allowing me to get away with it. The movie is not a sequel to your movie Bananas, but it is a direct response to that. So give me a little background on Bananas and how that transcended into Big Boys Gone Bananas.
Well, in 2009 I had a film called Bananas ready to meet the world. And that film was about, well, I followed a court case where banana workers from Nicaragua were suing Dole Food Company for the use of a banned pesticide that the workers claimed made them sterile. And so the film was about to release at the LA Film Festival in June 2009. And we received some really heavy letters saying, cease and desist, go away. And that letter was not only sent to us, also to every single sponsor of the film festival. So it was like kind of a really heavy attack. And then a lot of strange things started to happen. And we, of course, we thought we had done a fair and balanced film, so we had no idea of backing off. But our lawyer told us if you go to Los Angeles, you have to expect getting delivered a lawsuit. So I thought, okay, I really have to fight for my film because I think it's worth to go out there. And so I said, okay, if they want to deliver me a lawsuit, I want it on camera. So I started to shoot. I had no idea if that would be a film or not. But then as our journey kept going and it kept being more and more, let's say, interesting, it was tireful too. I mean, it was tiring. But in the end, I could see kind of, when you're in the midst of a storm, sometimes you see patterns. And I think we did. So we could see what a big corporation is ready to do when they want to protect its brand. And they're ready to do a lot of things. And it's also about, how they shift the focus, how they pressure the media. So and of course all the bullying scare tactics that they're really good at. They're really good at bullying people. So that's what my film is about, and hopefully this journey will make all of us talk a little bit more about the headlines in newspapers. So sometimes the big headlines are planted by somebody, and the stories we don't even see in the newspapers maybe should be the stories that we should read. So it's a kind of media critical film.
Now, when you started shooting, did you have any idea it was going to become so large? I mean, you said at the time you thought, let me go ahead and chronicle this, but did you realize it was going to be going on? Did you have any inclination it was going to last as long as it did or develop the way it did?
No, I mean, I had no idea. And you can, to speculate around that is also stupid, and you never know. I mean, to do a film, it's a challenge enough to make a good film and make it work emotionally and to keep the facts in place. And there's so much work and hassle to finance a film, and so I don't speculate if I'm going to get hit by anything, or if I'm going to make the big festivals or blah blah blah. You focus yourself on doing a good film. So, and then when they attacked us, I was actually, honestly, I was surprised. They had only seen the trailer. They attacked the trailer, and on the basis of the trailer, they made loads of journalists write stories about it. They planted stories, and they created a really sticky story that also traveled out. So a lot of people thought, oh, here's a naive Swedish filmmaker who is making a crook into a hero, and now he refuses to admit that he did wrong. That story was so well told. So a lot of people, also people in our own documentary film community, believed that Dole was right and I was wrong. They didn't think that Dole was right suing me or attacking me, but maybe I had done some mistakes. Years later, we won in court. Our film was
giving away the ending.
Our film is fair and balanced. I mean, so it's
At any point, did you doubt yourself during this process?
I didn't have really time for doubts, and it's a lot of people. When you're in the middle of that kind of fight, people ask you. Some people thought, wow, this is a cool PR stunt. Other people think, how can you do it? Or what is the worst case scenario? And if you start to think about worst case scenarios, you lose yourself. You have to put focus on, okay, what's next, what's next? And to solve the issues of every day. And that's including taking care of your kids and your family and your love life and your company and the other films you work on, but including, and for us it also included talk to lawyers every day.
Now, you were still producing other films while this was going on. You had, I think, 3 other films that you produced during this time period. How did you balance this entire legal process with getting your regular work done at the same time?
It's meant that you have to work more hours. I mean, between Sweden and California, it's 9 hours time difference. It means when it's 5 o'clock in the afternoon, it's 8 o'clock in Los Angeles. So you can actually work double shifts. It's not recommended, but we had to do it.
What have you learned from this process?
I've learned. I mean, I think the new film is a lot about this learning process, actually. So I learned a lot about how our society works, how effectful scare tactics can be. That a lot of people, and I think that's the problem America is facing right now, that people feel that they don't have any power, and then they get scared. And hopefully I can send out the message that you have power and there is hope. I think that's maybe one lesson, and also lesson is that you actually can win. If you're right, you can win, and the truth can also prevail.
It was a long journey for you. At any point, did you decide maybe you didn't want to be chronicling this? I mean, it was you who was exposed to the cameras the entire time. That's kind of a different position for you to be taking.
I'd never been a subject of my own films ever. I mean, as a filmmaker, you're a storyteller, and you like to tell a good story. To be able to tell this story, I had to be in the film myself.
Was it a challenge when you went to the editing process of it?
Yeah, I have a different title of the film too. That's 100 bad hair days. So I can. Oh shit! No! Why didn't I? So it's you see, it's tough. It's tough. Oh, please take it away. And the editor said, no, it's good. You look shit. That's good. Suffer.
The suffering shows.
Yeah.
Okay, well, moving forward, what is your takeaway from this film?
I mean, I hope that we can create some kind of talk about how media works. And I mean, we know that traditional media is going down. All the big news organizations are firing journalists. And who's employing them? It's the PR industry. Who's paying the PR industry? Are the big corporations. So we have quite a few journalists left. They have to do more work. At every news desk, there are less people have to do more stories, meaning they have less time to check stories. So the PR industry is sending in stories, and the journalists, they try to do their job to their best, but if they don't have time, and if they don't feel that they are in control or in power, journalism is losing out, and that's something we have to talk about.
And as the film will spark that discussion, how are people able? Do you have plans for distribution at this point, or how can people find out more about the film?
Well, first of all, we have a website called bigboysgonebananas.com, and we also actually have a Kickstarter campaign ongoing right now, which also goes under Big Boys Gone Bananas Kickstarter. So, I mean, we are now announcing that we will go launch the film in Sweden now in February. We are signing a UK deal now, I think today, and we hope to make a US deal quite soon, so the film will get out here.
Well, it's terrible that you had to go through this, but you made a wonderful film from it, so hopefully it will go ahead and start a dialogue and maybe even spark a few changes here as well. Next up for you, do you have another film that you're working on now?
I'm going to do one of these shorts, the Focus Forwards films that Morgan Spurlock and other filmmakers are presenting. So I'm going to be one of those 30 filmmakers. That's cool. A 3-minute short. That's wow.
That's got to be a relief for you after a while.
Yes, that's nice.
Well, living the luxury here at Sundance right now, Fredrik Gertten. I'm still mispronouncing his name, but he's such a nice guy. Thank you so much for joining us here in Indie Film Nation.
Thank you.
Good luck with the film.
Thank you.
Thanks.